Hey guys, EC Network here, coming at you with another video. So last night I saw the new Diary of a Wimpy Kid animated movie on Disney Plus, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. As per usual with these types of videos, spoilers will be ahead at a certain point. Once spoilers are coming, I will let you know. Diary of a Kid, the 2021 animated movie, is basically a reboot of the movie franchise, now taking it away from the live action realm that we saw in before, putting it into the animation realm. So how does this movie stack up to the prior version of the Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie? Because obviously this movie is based off of the first book. So overall, I thought that the movie was good, but not great. Part of the reason why is because, honestly, a lot of stuff was cut out of this movie, and I'll get into that more so in the spoilers section, but this movie is only 58 minutes long, so a lot of the original book, and even what was in the original live-action movie, was cut out of this movie. In addition to that, it was very much focused on Greg and Rowley, and I'll get into that more so in the spoiler section as well, but there wasn't much from the other characters in this movie. It was pretty much just following Rowley and Greg in the story of the first book, with a lot missing from it. So with that being said, we're going to get into the spoiler section now, so spoilers ahead, you have been warned. So like I said, this movie is following the story of the first Wimpy Kid book, just like the first live action movie we got about 10, 11 years ago now, I want to say. So anyways, this movie is missing a lot. Like I said before, a lot is missing from the original story of the original book. For example, the entire plot line where Rowley and Greg become part of the safety patrol, I believe it was called, where they're basically, walking younger kids home from school, that's entire plot line, that is cut out of the movie. It is not there. Also, the plot line where they go into the school play, that is cut out of the movie. That is not there. And as I said before, when it comes to this movie pretty much following Greg and Rowley the entire time, you don't see Patty Farrell at all. Her name is mentioned in the movie, but you never see her. And if you guys remember the original live action movie, she played a pretty big role throughout that movie. Also, Shiraj Gupta, he's mentioned in this movie as well. You see him making a brief cameo in the movie, but he doesn't actually have any speaking roles. Pretty much the entirety of this movie is strictly following Rowley and Greg throughout middle school in this first book. Roderick, another major character in the Wimpy Kid franchise, he barely has any screen time. Like, he's in the beginning of the movie, he starts scaring Greg about middle school, and then you don't see him ever again. He's mentioned once or twice, but you actually never see him in the movie. So in that way, this movie felt weird. Like, yes, you're in the Wimpy Kid world, but at the same time, you're just looking at a very small portion of it because all of these fan favorite characters are missing completely from the movie. In addition to that, like I said, there are plot lines missing from this movie that were in the original book and in the original live action movie, but also they changed some plot points as well. So a couple that came to mind when I was watching this movie is, in the original movie, I don't remember if it happened this way in the book or not, but I know in the original live action movie, when Greg and Rowley go trick-or-treating and they run into those teenagers, they basically are running away from them and being chased after by them, and they hide in Greg's grandmother's house. In this version of the movie, they are being chased by them in the forest, and basically the guy crashes his car and pops his tire and he can't drive it, so he's stuck there and they run away. And then, like I said before, they then later on run into them when they're having the whole safety patrol plot line, which is missing from this movie, so they don't see them again until the very end of the movie, where they make Rowley eat the cheese, which happened in the original book and in the original live action movie. Another plot line that was changed is when they're making the comic for the school paper. Greg and Rowley in the original, they team up together trying to make their own comic together, and then they have creative differences and go their separate ways. If you guys remember, Rowley's the one who came up with Zooey Mama, and that gets chosen to be in the school paper. Well, in this version, Greg was working on it on his own. Rowley's like, "Oh, can I help you?" He's like, "No, I want to do this myself." And in this version, Greg actually came up with Zooey Mama himself, and Rowley stole that story. Also, Greg is chosen as the comic writer for the school paper, but basically the teacher changes everything in his comics to make it look like he's trying to promote new sections of the library. So that's another difference I noticed in this movie. But overall, animation wise, I like the style, I like the look of this movie. Like I said, it wasn't a bad movie, but it wasn't great either because there was a lot missing, and also all the characters that were not in this movie and didn't have a lot of screen time really took away from the overall storytelling, in my opinion. But anyways, let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought about this movie. Did you like it, or did you think it wasn't great like I did? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.